All right, guys, so in this video, we will start to look at generator expressions. Now, expressions are basically a shorthand way to create a generator. They are very similar to list comprehension, so they are basically written kind of in the same way. But the main difference with list comprehensions is that the generators are created lazily. So they are generating values lazily. Only when the values are needed do they get created, right? Otherwise, they are not being created. That is pretty much the only difference between a generator expression and a list comprehension. So they are a shorthand way of creating the generators, but of course they have the downside of not having the full power of functions, right? We only have a one-line expression that can yield values for us rather than, the full complexity that we can have in a regular function. So here is the basic structure for our generator. It is exactly the same as a list comprehension, except that we have parentheses rather than straight brackets, right? So here we have our expression for a variable in an iterator. Okay, very easy, very simple. We've already studied things like this before, except that this time it is a generator, not a list comprehension. So here is an example. We are looping through the values given to us by a generator here. So what happens here? We are going through a range of 20 numbers, and we are yielding the cubes of those numbers, and we are simply printing them out. So let's go ahead and try that in our code. We're going to say for I in, we have our generator. Okay, now the generator says cube this value, so n to the power of 3 for n in a range of, let's say, 20. All right, so this is our shorthand generator, which is an expression. And then with the I, we will just simply print the value, right? So with this value available. Right, so let's go ahead and run this, and we will of course get all the numbers from 0 to 19 cubed and printed out. Okay, so 0, 1, 8, 27, and so on. So that is the main idea. I'm not going to spend too much time because we've already studied all of this in list comprehensions. Like I said, the only difference is that this is done lazily when it is needed, whereas the list comprehension simply gives us the whole list, the whole iterator that the for loop can then loop upon. All right, so let's take another example. We have our list of cities, and we want each city to be provided as only the first 3 characters. Okay, so we can put that in our code as well. So I'm going to say cities is going to be Amsterdam, then Dubai, and Bogota. Okay, so we have our cities. Now for I in our generator expression, so I'm going to take cities 0 until 3. So the first 3 characters of my cities, except I need to put here city, okay, for city in cities. Okay, so I have the variable city that goes through the cities list, provides the first 3 characters on a lazy basis, so it doesn't provide all of it at once, just when it's needed. And we have that, so for that we will simply print out our I variable. All right, so let's go ahead and run that, and we will of course get AMS, dub, and BOJ. Okay, so that is basically how generator expressions work.